Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will... be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Throwing on first down. Humphrey, and incomplete to open things up. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Humphrey, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That's taken on the 25. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, it's Young. Throwing left side, it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
On 2nd down now, it's Bush. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. Humphrey. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. They'll run on 1st down. It's Bush. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Off the bootleg. Humphrey. That's complete to Sharp. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Looking to throw. Humphrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
to win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On first down, Bush. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on second down. Humphrey. And his throw is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The Falcons on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Humphrey. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back.
Well, I like the chutzpah there, right? They decided to go ahead and fake it and try and pick up a first down, but how about how they executed defensively and smothered that one? I know back from my time frame, everyone has responsibilities, even rushing on a field goal attempt. You've got the tight end, you've got the wing back, you might have the guy in the backfield, but they executed that well.
Yeah.
Really stuck to what they needed to do.
It wasn't just 11 guys trying to block it. They were ready. They got it done. On second down, Swift. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Swift. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And they just get the play off. Now Young. That's complete to McCaffrey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 2nd and 13, Young. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Young. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 31-yard line.
Well, we always Hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Young. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will find his man on the outside. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Back to throw. Humphrey firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On the delay, it's Bush. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the gun on 3rd down. Humphrey going down the middle, and it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. First and 10 at the 19. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The 20, 10, 5, and he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there as the first half is winding down, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown, we saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to throw. Humphrey. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly... The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On first down, Swift. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Third down, Young from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is. I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On second down now, Swift. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to him on first down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Let's go.
On second down, Swift. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Mike, 58, right there. You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
They'll run on first down. Swift. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down, McCaffrey. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 31.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On third down, Swift. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. On 3rd down, Swift. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Young with it, 3rd and goal. And he holds it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. From 8 yards out as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back. Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st and 10, Humphrey over the middle, complete. That's Bush. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 1st down, Humphrey. And that is incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Back to throw. Humphrey. He's got his man Sharp, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Humphrey. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Humphrey. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all. Three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got them set up with a first and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
This is McCaffrey. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Bucs,